Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So inshallah in today's video we are discuss about the topic of partial fraction. That is the last topic of this chapter. Now in case of partial fraction we need to understand that how the questions are going to be asked in the exam. So I will show you an example like you can see on the screen. Resolve into partial fraction and they have given you a fraction, right? So a fraction will be given and you will be asked to resolve it into partial fraction. Now, what is the meaning of resolving into partial fraction? Okay, let us try to understand that one first. Let us say we have an fraction 1 by 3, then we add it with 1 by 2. So we know that it will be equal to 3, 2, it will be 6, and 3 plus 2, it will be 5. So if we add them up, it will be 5 by 6, right? Now this fraction 5 by 6, I can write this is equal to 1 plus 3 plus 1 by 2, right? Now what I did here in this line, a fraction was given, I broke it into parts, right? I broke like 1 by 3, this is a part of 5 by 6, 1 by 2, this is also a part of 5 by 6, and I wrote them as addition of them, right? So whenever a fraction, a given fraction, you can break it down into parts and write it as summation or subtraction, something like that. That time you can say that you have expressed the given fraction into partial fraction because you have broken them into parts, right? You can see part from that partial fraction comes. So this 1 by 3 is a part of 5 by 6. So this fraction is a partial fraction of 5 by 6. 1 by 2 is also a partial fraction of 5 by 6. So one fraction is broken down into its partial fraction or parts. Okay, so this operation is called partial fraction or resolving into partial fraction. Okay, so again one fraction will be given and that one you have to break down into its parts. Okay, now whenever we are talking about fraction, we know that there are several types of fractions. For example, proper fraction, this one probably we learned in grade 2 or 3 or maybe 4, I don't exactly remember. So partial fraction is the one where the numerator is smaller and the denominator is greater. Okay, now improper fraction, you can understand that the denominator will be smaller, now numerator will be greater. Okay, so denominator is smaller and numerator will be greater, so this is improper fraction. We know that improper fraction can also be expressed as mixed fraction, right? I hope many of you know, but that is not our main topic to discuss today. I'm just showing you that improper fraction, it can be expressed as mixed fraction. Why it is called mixed fraction? Because there is an integer number and there is a fraction, so that is why it is a mixed fraction. Okay, now so while we are discussing partial fraction, at first we will discuss about the partial fraction of the proper ones. Okay, proper fraction, and then at the end we will discuss about the partial fraction of improper one. Okay, so there are several types of it. Today we are going to discuss, let us say this is type 1. Okay, total there are 5 types. So today we are discussing type 1. So resolve into partial fraction. Okay, now you might be asking that how we do understand that a given fraction is proper fraction or not, because here it's not directly number, it is polynomial, right? So in case of polynomial, how can we understand which one is proper fraction and which one is improper fraction? See, the highest power in the denominator is 3 and the highest power in the numerator is 2 of variable, obviously. So if in the denominator the highest power is greater than the highest power of the numerator, then you can say that this is a proper fraction. Okay, now if the opposite happens, x to the power 4 plus 1 maybe, then x cubed plus 2 x plus 3. So you can see that now in the denominator the power is less than the power of the numerator or degree of the numerator. So this one will be now improper fraction. Now let us take a look at our given case. You can see that in the numerator the power of x is 1 because there is 5x, so x does not have any power here written, so that means the power is 1. But in the denominator, whenever you lift up the bracket and multiply x into x, it is going to give you x square, and that will be the highest power, right? Here, whenever you lift up the bracket, this x will be multiplied with x into x square, and then some other multiplication will be there. But what matters is what is the highest power of x. So you can see that the highest power of x that you can get here is 2, and here it is 1. So definitely this is a proper fraction because the degree of the denominator is greater than the degree of the numerator. Okay. Now we will start the solution process. 5x minus 7 divided by x minus 1 into x minus 2. Now we will write it equal to identity. Okay. Now we need to discuss also what is identity. Um, Let us go back to the previous slide and let us try to understand what is identity. For example, x plus 2 equal to 3. Now, in this case, there is only one value of x which will make the equation true, right? If I put the value of x as 1, then only it will be equal to 3. That means there is only one value of x that I can put here. If I put the value of x as 2, 2 plus 2, it will not be equal to 3. That means um, we cannot put any value we want for x here, right? That is why this is an equation. But if we have an equation where we can put any value of x which will make the statement true, then we call it an identity. For example, let us say we have x plus 2 whole square and it is equal to x square plus 4x plus 4. Okay. Now if I put the value of x as 1, then what will happen? The left hand side it will be 1 plus 2 whole square, which will give us 3 square, that is 9. Now here, if I put x equal to 1 in the right hand side also, so 1 square plus 4 into 1 plus 4, you can see 4 on the 4 plus 1, it will be 9. So it is same. Now let us check if I can put x equal to 2. If I put x equal to 2 on the left hand side, so it will be 2 plus 2 whole square, that is 4 square, it is 16. On the right hand side, we will put the value and then we will check if we get the same value or not. So 2 square is 4, 4 2s are 8 plus 4. So you see we are getting 16 here also. That means no matter what value you want, you can choose to put in case of x, it will be always true. So if a equation is like that, that it is true for all the value of x. Okay, remember here this statement is true only for one value of x, right? But here you can put whatever value you want, this equation will always be equal to each other. So that type of equation is called identity. Identity. And to show the difference, we put 3 line. Okay, for equal sign we put generally 2, but for identity we have to put 3. So whenever you put 3, it gives you the license to put any value you want for x. Okay, that is the advantage of having an identity. Now here we will take identity. Why? Because we want the license to be able to put any value for x we want. Okay, so here we will try to break it down, like here we have x minus 1 then plus x minus 2. Okay, but in the numerator what will be there we don't know yet, so we will put a constant that is a and we will put a constant that is b. Now whether there will be any x here or not, it depends on the power of the denominator. See, it is a proper fraction, right? So in the numerator, the power of x has to be less than the power of x in the denominator. So x has a power of 1 here, so it will be 1 less than that. So if it is 1, then 1 less than 1 is actually 0. So x to the power 0 means there will be no x here. And the similar logic goes for this one. I will explain again. In the denominator, whatever the power of x is, for example, if it was x cube, then I will write it here x square. The power of the degree of x in the numerator should be 1 less than the degree of the variable in the denominator. Understood? Now as we don't have a cube, Okay, we have power 1, that is why in the numerator the power will be 0. 1, from this we need to subtract 1. 1 minus 1, it will be 0. So I hope it is clear. Now in this case also there will not be any x. Okay, now then next step is the we will cross multiply this x minus 1, x minus 2, this will be multiplied with the numerator of that. So left hand side it will be left only with 5x minus 7. Okay, the denominator we will multiply it. If I multiply it on that side, it will be multiplied with the numerator, that is x a into x minus 1 into x minus 2 divided by x minus 1 plus b into x minus 1 x minus 2 divided by x minus 2. Remember, this denominator will be multiplied with both the numerator. Okay, now x minus 1 x minus 1, they cancel each other, so it will be a into x minus 2 plus, and here x minus 2 will be cancelling each other, so b into x minus 1. Okay, so let us consider this one. Oh, first this one is 1 and this one is 2. Now, if you want, you can write this statement 2 directly from this line. How? I will show you a technique. Let us say I don't want to write this equation or the statement. Okay, I want to be able to directly write this statement from the first statement. So how can we do it? Think about it in this way. Now a has a denominator of x minus 1, right? So in your mind, cut this x minus 1 with this x minus 1. So x minus 2 will be multiplied with a. There you go. And then in case of b, what we can do, x minus 2 is there, so cut this x minus 2 with this x minus 2. So x minus 1 will be there with b, so b into x minus 1. So if you want, you can skip the line in between that I explained for your better understanding. If you want, you can skip and write directly this one, no problem. Okay, yeah, you can do that. Now let us continue our calculation, and we know, remember what is our target. Our target is to find the value of a and b. Okay, and we have the license, as it is an identity, we can put any value of x we want. Okay, that is the advantage of writing this as identity. If you do not write it identity here, remember, you will not be awarded any mark for this type of problem. This is very important. If you forget and put only 2 like equal, then you will not get any mark. Okay, so in order to get the value of a, I need to vanish b, right? How can I vanish b? If somehow I make this part 0, if I make this part 0, then b into 0, it will be cancelled, b will be eliminated, right? Now how to make this 0? What should I put the value of x so that it becomes 0? Remember, there is minus 1, so to balance minus 1, we need plus 1. For example, if we put the value of x as 1, it will be 1 minus 1, 0, 0 into b, b will be eliminated. Okay, so we will write putting x is equal to 1 in 2. Okay, this is number 2. So 5 into x will be replaced by 1 minus 7. See, on the left hand side, x, I replaced it by 1. So as there is no variable here anymore, okay, x is not here, we have replaced the value of x, so we cannot put identity here anymore. Now it has to be an equal sign. So a into 1 minus 2 plus b into 1 minus 1. So 5 on the 5, 5 minus 7 is minus 2. Here 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Minus 1 into a is minus a. And you know that it will be 0 into b. So b is eliminated. We don't need to write it anymore. So cancelling minus minus from both the side, we can write a is equal to 2. There we go. We have the value of a already. Now how to find out the value of b? See, to find out the value of a, we vanished b. Now to find out the value of b, we need to vanish a. How we can vanish a? I hope many of you understood what we need to do. A into, we need to make this 0. So to balance minus 2, I need plus 2. Very good. Okay. So now we will be putting x equal to 2. See, we are putting x equal to 1, x equal to 2, whatever we want we can put, because we consider this one as an identity. Okay, remember, in 2. what we get, 5 into 2 minus 7, it will be equal to, do not put identity here, okay, please, there is no x here. So a into 2 minus 2 plus b into 2 minus 1. The factor result in 10 minus 7 is 3, and this part will be 0 because 2 minus 2 is 0, 0 into a vanished. B into 2 minus 1 is 1, b into 1 is b. So we have the value of b as 3. Okay, now we will put the value of a and b in this statement 1. Okay, so our final line should be, I actually don't have much space here. What can I do? Okay, I will write it here. Okay. Putting value of a and b in statement 1, right? See, this is 1. It will be 5x minus 7 divided by x minus 1 into x minus 2 equal to a will be replaced by 2. So 2 divided by x minus 1 plus b is 3. So 3 divided by x minus 2. So we have our final answer. We have resolved the given fraction into partial fractions. Okay, so I hope the process was clear to you. Now, sometimes there will be a little bit of variation in the question of this type 1. For example, maybe the numerator will remain same. In the denominator, you might see something like this, x square minus 5x plus 6. Okay, and they will tell you to convert this into partial fraction. Now, this is a bit different, right? Quadratic equation. But this quadratic equation, you have to do this operation first. Okay, maybe you can uh, it has to be there in the answer script only. Do not write, whatever I'm doing now, do not write it in graph paper. Okay, do it in the main answer script. So x square minus 5x plus 6, we know that we can resolve it into factor by middle term factor, right? So middle term factor has already been discussed in the previous video. So if you have any confusion whatever I'm doing here, kindly go through that video. Inshallah, it will be cleared. Okay, our focus today is not on middle term factor, that is why I'm not explaining this process. But you can see that using the middle term factor, we can break this down, this quadratic expression, into its factors. So this x square minus 5x plus 6 can be replaced by x minus 3 and x minus 2, right? So 5x minus 7 divided by, we can write x minus 3 into x minus 2. So then we can continue our calculation, like x minus 3 will be here, and then x minus 2 will be there, and a and b, and then the operation will be same as before, like the previous one. Okay, so try to solve and find out the answer of this one, and let me know in the comment section what answer you got. Okay, so today up to this much. This is type 1. Inshallah, in future videos we will continue with the next types. If there is any confusion, let me know. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.